Hi everybody, today we're going to do lesson 5 using the graphing calculator to graph our relations. So finally you get to use your use your full potential of your calculator. So here we go. Okay, so I want everybody first to hit zoom 6, and then I want you to hit second function quit. Okay, go back to the beginning. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you how we input our relation into the calculator. So right up here you have your y equals, so we're going to get into that option, and each one of these y1, y2, y3 represents different graphs or different relations. So let's go ahead and use the one they use in the example here, and that's negative 1.25 x, and x is over here, plus 15. So again, you could do a table of values and graph this, but the calculator does it for you, and we're going to hit graph, and it's going to graph it for us. Okay, oh, there it is. Okay, now in this window, okay, you see the x-intercept, or sorry, the y-axis and the x-axis. So I'm going to go through this and show you some basic tools. You can also go I'm not going to show you all of the ones they show you in lesson 5, but you should go through this as well and make sure you get a good idea of all the different options. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the main ones that you're going to need for from now until you finish doing math. Okay, well, the first one is basically how to adjust this window where you see your graph. Okay, right now it's not a very good picture of my graph because the graph is in the top right hand corner. So what I'm going to do is there's the window button here that allows you to adjust your window. Now, first of all, let's talk about the window. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what the window shows you, the x-axis goes until positive 10, negative 10. The y goes from negative 10 to positive 10. So if your graph is outside of those boundaries, you're not gonna see it very well. So let me go ahead and adjust my window. So I need to see clearly, I need to have my X bigger and my Y bigger. So I'm going to go into window, and what you see in the window, and they do describe it down here. So if you do want to get a few more details here, scroll down to here. So what I see here is my X minimum and my X maximum, but also the scale of X, and then I see the Y minimum and the Y maximum and the Y scale. Okay, so I need to adjust my my X max. I'm going to make it 20. And let's just see what that does. So now I'm going to hit graph again, and look at that. So basically extended my X direction. Now the only problem here is my scale. I have way too many little notches here, or the increments. There's way too many. So I'm going to, instead of going up by 1, I'm going to change my X scale by going into the window. I'm going to change my X scale. Let's go up by 2. Okay, let's see what happens then. So now I can read it a little bit easier. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So it looks like the x-intercept is at about 12. However, I can't see my y-intercept, and you always want to see your intercept. So let me go ahead and adjust my y, and that would be the y max. And let's make the y max 15. Okay, now we'll hit graph. And okay, still not quite good. It's kind of jammed up in the corner there, so let's make it 20, the y max 20, and we'll hit graph. Okay, now it's a little better. But again, I have the same problem. I have way too many increments, or way too many dashes on the y-axis. I can't really read that very clearly. What is that? Is that 20? Is that 11? I can't really see it. So I'm going to go window, and I'm going to go down to my X scale, Y scale, and make that 2 as well. Okay. All right, now it's a little better. Let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8. It's a little hard to see. I'm actually going to change both of my scales to 5 by hitting window, and I'm going to change that to 5. What that's going to do now is going to go into it's going to go up by increments of 5. Okay, well now it's not very nice to see. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the table. Okay, in the table you can access it right here. above the graph button, but you have to hit the second function to get into the blue options. So hit second function and hit table. Okay, and now what you see here is basically your table of values. Okay, so in other words, your inputs and outputs. So when x is 0, y is 15. When x is 1, y is 13.75, and and so on. You can go into the negatives as well, right? When x is -3. Okay, you can also do some table settings. For example, if I wanted to go up by if I want to see what 3.5 is or 4.5, I can change it to second function. I go table set, and I can go up by 0.5s, for example. Okay, so that is this is telling your table what the increments are going to be. So let me go back into the table now. And look what happens now. Now I can see, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. I can also, instead of, let's say I want to know what 60 is. Well, I can either hit this 60 times, the down arrow, or I can just go table set, and I can start at 60. Right there. So this is table start. Now if I hit table, okay, it'll go right to 60. Okay, that's another nice little option. Okay, sorry I jumped ahead a little bit here. Let me just go ahead and quit here. So now you can also go into, if you want to see your graph and the table side by side, you would have to go into mode and then go down to, so yours is set on full, so this is what full look like. Okay, and if you want to see the table and the graph next to each other, you would go like this, where this is graph table. Hit enter now, hit graph. Okay, very nice. So now you see them side by side. Okay. All right, and nice. The other nice thing here is if you hit the trace key, it'll take you to the graph, a point on the graph, and you can see down here what the coordinates are. So that would be 5 and 8.75. So if I go to the right, that'll be the next one, and so on. So you can go down like this down your graph. Now again, I'm going to go table set. Or sorry, go to the graph, and there it is. Okay, so that's really another way of looking at the graph. Okay, let me go ahead and change it back to, I like to see the full screen. Okay, I'm going to change it back to full, so hit mode and then go down to full now, hit graph. Okay, now here's a really nice option of the calculator. See the calc option here? That is the calculator will allow you to will do lots of calculations for you. So hit second function, trace. Now the first option is very useful. So this is the x value, the first one. So when I hit value, again you can hit 1 or enter. So I'll hit 1. What this does is if I put in a x value of, let's say, 6, the calculator will tell me what the corresponding y value is if I hit enter. So when x is 6, y is 7.5, and there's that point right there. It's marked by an x, and there's your equation. Okay, so let's try another number. When x is 10, enter, y is 2.5. Okay, now if I hit when x is 40, I'm going to get an error, and that is because 40 is off my domain of values. So I would first have to go to window and make the x value go past 40, like 45, and then now I can find out what 40 is. Second function, trace value 40, and now it would do it for me. Okay, now let's say for some reason you wanted to go back. You want to reset your window, so then you would go zoom, and zoom 6, that's the zoom standard. Okay, that gets your window back to the 10 10 10 10 option. Okay, and look, there's that original window that we had. Okay, so now let me show you a few more things. Okay, let me first get the window back to what did I have, 20 and 5 for the scale, 20 and 5. There we go. Okay, So the other nice feature is calculating the x and y intercepts. Well, to calculate the y-intercept, that's fairly easy because we know that for the y-intercept x equals 0. So I'm just going to go into calc here and make x equals 0, and that'll give me the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 15. Okay, to calculate the x-intercept, we're going to go into calc, and we're going to use the 0 feature. So when we go to the 0 feature, hit enter. Again, here's what we're looking for down here where the graph crosses the x-axis. So what the calculator does is asking you now, so this is left boundary. So what is the left boundary? Well, the left boundary is anything on the left side of that intersection, of that x-intersect. So I'm going to tell the calculator that I want you to, here's what I'm basically doing. The calculator wants to know what boundaries it's going to search for the x-intercept. Well, I want to search between here, so hit enter, and then it wants the right boundary, but the right boundary has to be on the right side of the x-intercept. So now once I get to the right side, I'll hit enter and guess, hit enter again. So, and there it is. So the 0 is another word for the x-intercept. The reason it's called 0 is because the y is 0 when x is 12. Okay, so it's a little bit longer than looking for the y-intercept, but the reason is because you could have multiple x-intercepts. For example, what if I had another graph that is let me come up with one here. Maybe I'll go 0.6 x plus 4. Okay, now I have two x-intercepts. So how does the calculator know which one to calculate? I'm gonna tell them by using those boundary options. Okay, so there you go. Go to zeros, and then now if you're in the wrong graph, okay, hit up or down to go to the other graph. Okay, so up and down toggles between the two graphs. Okay, so go to this one. So left boundary, get all the way to the left, the right boundary, whoops,